I will be posing the question, what are the challenges in a relationship? The list is extremely long, so I would like us to pay attention to like topics of like open relationship, polygamy, cheating, multi-dating. I want everyone to tell us how these areas could sort of affect a relationship in today's time.
Well, I think polygamy is one big one. It's very, very complicated. Yeah, we can look at it from a point of religion, or you can look at it from another point with the whole modern lifestyle now. You know, people getting rich and marrying multiple wives and all that. So there could be a lot of reasons why people are getting married. But I think from a religion point of view, the complication is that you have to treat women equally, right? And a lot of people are not able to meet that. It's a big challenge. And it's leading to a lot of divorces. You know, people getting divorced.
So do you agree with the concept of polygamy in a relationship? Are you for it?
Well, it's a tricky one. Tricky one in the sense that if you ask me, can I do it directly? Maybe I should help you ask that, right? I don't have plans to do it in the future because I feel I came out from a polygamous home and I knew the sort of challenges I went through growing up, and I wouldn't want that to happen in my family.
Is anyone for polygamy? Clearly he can't do it, but anyone else?
I'm for polygamy as a woman. I agree with it. As he's already mentioned, that there has to be things in place. So one of them being financial. There has to be also a communicative style where so I'm going to speak from a personal experience where I've gone into a relationship with somebody. They've not communicated that they want to be polygamous. They want to marry multiple women. Then whilst I'm inside, they're saying, oh yeah, this is the plan because basically that's my culture. And I said, oh, first of all, you've never told me that you follow culture because we are not living in a cultural setting. We're living more the Western way. Now you want to bring polygamy to the game. Is it because you're trying to cheat? So the reason why I'm for polygamy and why I believe it's a very good system is because it protects to some extent, I'm not going to go into detail with that, but it protects the family in terms of if that man wants to have multiple women, then he's taking care of all of them. But it has to be communicated from the start. So that's my perspective of polygamy and my understanding of it coming back from a Southern culture. So there is polygamous marriages in the South where it actually is part of the, culture. So I know he's gone from a religious perspective, but I go from a cultural perspective where they say, especially the Zulus, if I'm going to be very specific, they actually accept that. And it's something that's done. And if they do it well, they do it and it pulls off a very big, you know, there's an agenda there, impact to society, things like that, where all the children are taken care of from a very good perspective. So I am totally for polygamy as long as it's done in the right way.
I always see it online. They always talk about there's so much population of women, and then men needs to help more women men needs to help more women, and that's the reason why we should go polygamy. What do you think about that? Is that more population of women to men?
I think that reason is weird. Yes, it's a show. Okay, so the thing is,
so that one where you talk, like I said, now I shall beginners with that level where you just put on through. You understand? So. For me, as a man, I'm a man for a woman, you know, like me, I'm a man for a woman, and I know that for sure, because I've been there, I've done it, I've seen it, you know, I've seen beautiful girls, Chinese,
you don't want to that population,
so
the ratio of 4 to 1.
I know, the population, you know, give us an excuse to say, make we just come they choke.
So would you rather cheat than to marry?
I don't even want to cheat anymore. I've done it in the past, I've enjoyed it. It was nice in that. Let me put it this way, like, you know, some women bring some stuff to you. The world we live in now, yeah. You see, every year or every few years, between the relationship between men and women changes.
Mm-hmm.
They introduce new stuff. You have to be there to know. It changed. The way you follow that girl, one girl talk 5 years ago, that's not the way you're gonna talk to another girl today.
Mm-hmm.
Not even 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's changing every day. So it's more like the music industry. The beats changes. Before the beat, they change every year, every 2 years. No, I've been serious. Let's come to reality.
So woman beats the change as well.
Not woman, okay. Even men.
Okay.
So I'm not just putting this on the women alone. Even with we men, we change. You know, things change. The way we interact with girls, the things they are introduced to, the kind of people and the things that we are introduced to as well as men.
Yeah.
You understand? It changes.
That change being brought about by being in the West, or is it the Western culture?
No, I'm not gonna say that change is to do with the Western culture alone. Okay. Some people, when they come in this country, they're living in the UK. Let me start with the Asian people. You know, I've got a few Asian friends, and God bless them. You know, they come here with their culture, and they still live that like they live
Exactly.
in their country.
Yeah.
Oh, true, yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if they're living in England, I can be living in a house in one house with all of you. Doesn't mean I'm not alone.
Yeah, but in relation to polygamy, do they marry multiple wives as well?
Yeah, they do. They do marry multiple wives, and there are some still amongst them. Yeah, there are still some that don't want to. They don't want anything to do with the polygamous home, like polygamy home, whichever way it goes. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what every man or every woman has been through. Because I came from a home whereby my dad, he don't have two wives, but he was with a woman before that he had. You know, he had like they got like 4 children. Those ones are older than us, and my mom had 5. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm from a home whereby, you know, we knew what we've been through, you know, like not even knowing some of my brothers and sisters very well. You know what I mean? I can't see my sisters on the road and say, these are my sisters, because I don't know them. I've only met them like once or twice in my life.
For me, before you even talk of polygamy, you're talking of marriage. So you're actually going to marry one person and then marry another person.
Yeah.
But the truth is that these days, the men don't even want to marry one. Not to talk of marrying more. They just want to have different women.
Multiple girls.
And why do they want to have different women? Because they are looking for something, and there's something this woman has, this other woman doesn't have. Maybe this one is good in sex. The other one maybe good in cooking. The other one looks good, so she's presentable in the outside world. So it's not.
You guys will understand it now.
Understand what? Understand what?
Yeah, I've been in that situation before. This is that what you're saying.
Because
when I was seeing a girl.
And thank you very much for what you said. The thing is, it's your want, it's your desire, because you're thinking you cannot find everything in one person. And that is why you're having to look for different ones. And the truth is that most of especially this our time and days, these men, you don't want to provide.
Do you know what it's called? Ojukokoro. So Debbie, just in support to what you said earlier, right? Are you saying men prefer to date multiple women than to actually marry just that very
this
few?
day and age, men don't want to marry,
but
because
no,
marriage. Most men. Let me rephrase that. Most men don't want, because most men are afraid of commitment. Yeah. They're afraid. Yeah, even the women, they're afraid of responsibility.
It's cheaper.
That's it. Let me tell you something. There's a guy I know. Do you know this guy?
To be honest with you, before marriage, because I'm a huge advocate for multi-dating personally. Like, I want to multi-date before marriage because, first of all, I don't like stress, and I want to have a bit of everything. Like, if someone is giving me the emotional attachment, like, I like that. Not all men are rich. I want money. If this one is giving me that money, that physical present, I want it. I want to be able to experience as much, because the truth about it is relationship is hard. And if you put all your eggs in one basket, you're going to suffer.
They're all going to cry.
Like, we are going to suffer. So to minimize,
I disagree with you on that one.
To minimize suffering in relationship is to multi-date, because you're like, with this guy, I get this. With this other guy, I get this. Yeah. So if this one is not giving me the physical or the presence, this guy will give it to me. And I'm a huge advocate for that. So I actually believe that multi-dating is good up until the point that you'll be like, okay.
And just to say,
person
you guys won't agree.
So I read it somewhere in the book, and it says I don't understand what she's talking about. So I read that when women start tasting different men, then it becomes a problem in marriage. When they marry, they'll start comparing the man they now marry with other men they've dated. So if women are feeling, or some women are feeling they need to date, they need to explore, but they don't know it has a repercussion in marriage. You always compare, and that is why we are now having more failed marriages and failed relationships.
So clearly, I said before marriage.
Yes,
That's what
we
I said.
understand you
I
well.
said I'm an advocate for multi-dating before marriage because I gave 2 reasons. It lessens the challenges that comes with marriage and stuff and in relationships, and 2, it brings you closer to who your ideal person is. I can multi-date all 3 of you guys at the same time.
Stress.
Why?
I
There's
have
no
something-
stress.
No, it depends.
Let's get that. Hold on.
Thank you.
Let me finish. Let me land.
I really want to go after you.
Let me
please.
see.
Let me land.
You'll be
Let me
surprised.
land.
You'll be surprised what I'm saying.
Wait,
Let me land. Okay. Yo, let me.
Make advocate talk.
I feel like it's very important for you to know what you want from a man before marriage. That's why I said it's important to multi-date before marriage, because I'm looking for different qualities. I'm not gonna date you first, then date you first. No. First of all, time is important. So by multi-dating all 3 of you, I'm finding out which qualities I like, who brings a closer ideal person to that 100% you spoke about. Yeah. If this person doesn't give me the time, but he has money and he's this, those are qualities that are important. At the same time, I want all of them. Does he have it? I'll come to him. Whilst I'm mourning over the fact that he doesn't have the physical present, he will be giving me that physical present, and you will be lessening the hurt.
But are you going to test? Are you going to test everything? When you say we're to test the whole package?
Yes. It's the openness of it all. I'm being true to the experiment of multi-dating.
You know what I mean by the whole package?
Yes. Physical, sexual.
Yes, because the
that.
package comes as a package. So in
And then
agreement with you.
And the thing is, the good thing about multi-dating is about being open with it. I am dating you, I'm dating you, I'm dating you. I'm gonna be very open.
That's
because
important.
Why? I want at the end of the day, if you know that I'm the woman that you want, based off of the qualities that I've said I want in you, like you said, he said clearly, they don't always start off with having money or being good looking. But if you know that that's what I want, and I'm looking at that in you, and you don't have, and I'm looking somewhere else, you're gonna work extremely hard to meet that. You never know that in the near future you're gonna work and you're gonna have all those qualities. That's when it leads to marriage.
Can I just jump in?
I don't think it's okay to multi-date in marriage. Do that before you get married. Because once you now get married, you are like, okay, this person is either 100% or close to the ideal person that I would like.
Let me paint this scenario now. Looking at multi-sampling, or to be more specific, multi-dating. I can't imagine going into a room, just like Marilyn said, she can date three guys at the same time. And I go into that, assuming I'm one of the boyfriends, right? When she's multi-sampling or multi-dating. And I go into that room, I see the other 2 guys in there. What's gonna happen? To me, I find it disgusting, honestly. I find it really disgusting. However, if you're dating multiple people at different times, you're dating different people at different time, then unintentionally, because you're looking for the right person, that's okay. It's life, isn't it? Because you date this person, you find out you don't like some things and you want to move on until you find what you're looking for. That's okay, but not lining up 3 people at the same time and sampling them to see which one is bigger or which one. Okay, let's assume you find the one that is bigger and you say that's what you want and you stay there. You know, come 20 years later and wherever it is, the Viagra stops working, right? So what are you going to do? Are you going to say, oh, I'm going to look for another person? Or if you're looking, you sample and it says the money I want. You go in there for the money, and at the end of the day, you find out, okay, the contract stops coming in, or time has moved. AI is coming in now, right? Time has moved, and you lose all the... Look at it, Amazon and all these big techs, they are laying off people. These are very intelligent people they are laying off. These guys are going to be sitting behind their sofas now, right? So you're married to one of them, for example, and he's lost his job. He used to be someone that makes a lot of money. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, oh, he doesn't have the money anymore. Do I move on to the next tech guy? You know, so it means that if you do that, if you're going into a marriage because of those physical things, or I call them more of material things, then you will end up actually leaving that marriage. However, if you go into a marriage because of shared understanding, right? You guys need to connect spiritually, you need to connect physically, you need to connect in different ways. You know, you look at, like Debbie said earlier, you need to look at your scale of preference, right? What do I want in a marriage? What are my requirements, right? This guy has got it, yeah. Like I said, I dated for 3 months. The 4th month, we were already like, let's get it going. I saw her, the first day I saw her, I was like, this is my wife. Because she was looking like that queen, first, yeah. Secondly, we have that shared understanding religion. Religiously, we're connected, right? Socially, we're connected. Everything, we're just connected. I was like, why do I want to date you for a year for God's sake, right? Let's go. I took her to the altar, right? And we got it done. So I don't agree with wherever it is you call it, sampling, dating, at the same time, dating different guys. To me, it's just ojukokoro. You just want to do whatever you want to do around Iranu, like Yoruba would say, Ufeshi Iranu, you know, you don't have to go that way. Or Hausa would say it's iskanch, you know, so we don't want iskanch.
She beats me all the time, every time. I can't do anything right.
Why don't you ask your boyfriend to take you to the hospital?
That is the question. Look at how long your hair is.
Everybody say yeah.
It's okay.
Where's Nikiki?
Your dad wasn't lying when he said you're the spitting image of your mother, was he?
Shut up!
No, Mama, please, it's a little. I've this woman. Don't tell anybody. Please.
I don't want your money.
A Life to Regret. Available now on bjbfilms.com.
You've
No, Jai, you've spoken. I want to speak because I want to comment on what he said.
You've had your talk.
Wait, no, Timmy, you have spoken. I want to comment on what Timmy said after her.
Can I make my point? I grew up, right, in the north. I was born there. That's what I know. That's the culture I know.
Of multi-dating.
Of multi-dating.
Right.
Right? However, it's not the full package. When I mean full package, sexually, you don't go there. However, I used to I'll drive my car, I will park. There will be a guy in front of me. You have like 6 people waiting for one girl. Jesus. Yeah, it's normal. You go, you talk to the girl, it's open. She'll sit down with you, spend 30, 45 minutes with you, the next guy will be there, waiting, right? Once you're done, you pack your load, you go, the next person, she gets into the next car. This it's not hidden. It's the people know it's open. You know, they'll say, "Oh, this person in a name I," you know, Anzo Agan, you know, something like that. It's normal. I have done it, but the worst is it's not like you're not gonna drive away with your car into your home and go and you can spend money, you can bring gifts, you can give her money when you see her
sampling.
But there's no sampling.
No, but then that's different.
Because I feel like sex is very important to connect with someone. Someone might be rich, might be present,
and then they don't know how to have sex there.
Where is religion in this?
Truth is, cheating. Most of the time, cheating happens because your partner doesn't know how to satisfy you, or doesn't last long, or it's not good in bed, and you might want to.
Wait, hold on.
Like I might have my perfect person in terms of he's religious, he's got money, he's present, he provides for the family, but then he doesn't like the aspect of being sexual. If he can't satisfy me, I'm going to look somewhere else.
And that's easily done.
Not because I don't love my man, but because he just doesn't satisfy me in an area that.
Can I just come in there? Can I come in there? Can I come in there? Wait, hold on. So what Timmy? Wait. So in the perspective of Timmy, combining these 2 points together, Timmy said where he said, "Oh, if women sample, test, multi-date, it means then that's why they will compare their future partner. I want to bring it back down to what she's saying and why I agree with it. So multi-dating whilst you're in dating phase, 16 to 25 roughly, right? You are going to multi-date. No, hold on. You're going to multi-date and you're going to sample and say, what is my actual language of love? Do I want a man that comes with what she's mentioned, so I won't repeat it. But all I'm saying now is the understanding of, for a woman not to sample, she should have just met her man at virginity stage and that man provided everything. But because now we are unfortunately in a society where we're sampling Zimbabwe, we're sampling Nigeria, we're sampling Botswana.
Exactly.
Now these men are bringing different things to the sample. So it becomes totally different. So not confusing, but like you now know what you want and what's at the top as what's at the top of my agenda. What am I looking for?
You know the thing most of us, sorry, you know the thing most of us,
screwed everybody around.
You know the thing most of us.
It's okay for man to screw everybody. Okay,
sorry. You know the problem. We should always,
be the person that you want to.
Yeah. So sometimes, and somebody raised the point that, oh, what if he's not sexually active and you are and whatever. And I'm saying to you that a point will come. His thing will not be able to rise the way it used to rise when you met this guy. So what happens? Are you gonna leave the guy and go and look for another thing? So there's more to a relationship. For me, it is, am I able to connect with this person? Number one. Number two, physically, am I attracted to this person?
Even the physical one.
Even the physical one, accidents can happen. You can get scarred.
When you sleep, when you go up,
thank you. So for me, that's connection.
But how would you know if you didn't date?
So now let's again talking about dating. When you use the word multi-date, dating is a process. And when I say process, it could be, even if it's a month, but it's more than 1 or 2 times. Like what they do in the North, it's just once, just come, have that. Listen, you can meet a guy, have that 2, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours conversation with
and
know what you want because you already have your list.
But guys are sharp though. They will come here and say this one wants marriage. So they'll start promising you the things that you are saying you want.
My dear, there is a lot of, let me just end with this. Now, we talk about doing things multiple. Maybe because I'm getting older, some things are just stressful. You're multi-dating one guy, this one is calling your text, your phone. Come on, girl. You have things to do with your life. Why do you want to stress yourself? Why do you want to collect?
The one that's
so much drama. You don't want that in your life. You must be focused and know what you want. For me, know what you want from day one. If this guy is not right for you, I'll tell you, guy, I like you, we're friends, but listen, it's not going to work. Because for me, this is what I want, and you don't have it at this point. And I see myself at this point, what are we going to be like in the next 20, 30 years?
I want to believe that people have different personality traits, and those personality traits affect how they make their decisions. So if you are that type of person that knows to look and say, this is black, and because I'm looking for a black table, this table is black and I want it, you carry it out and you go. But there's people that come into a room and say, this table is black, but that white one, that yellow one might brighten up my room.
That's why we talk about greed.
No, but then you want to make a final decision of taking one table.
See, Lauren.
So you have to test all the tables.
And it's a natural thinking process.
I'm a choleric.
I'll put it in form of a human. Like, you want a man with fine whatsoever, like they said, anything can change. What? Okay, you come. You say table, black, right, and white. What if this table now white original,
and it was painted. This is what I'm talking about for guys who will say at the date they present a different persona.
I want to go somewhere for you. I quickly just want to enter somewhere for you, And this is it. You want a guy that's got money. I've got the full package and everything. But when I come to you, I find out, say you fine. I pretend to be that person that you want.
The pretending part is where prayers come in. A woman, and I've always said it, before I got married, right? Before I got married, I've dated for, a couple of years and all that. The woman I married, I only dated her for 4 months and I got married to her, right? And the reason why is I realized that it's not how long you date. A woman can pretend, a man can pretend for as long as possible and you will never find out. But if the woman or the man is ready, I was looking for, at the time I got married, I was looking for a woman that was ready to settle, not still hungry to look out. and the person came, we met, and said, see, I'm not looking to play around. I'm not looking to date you. I want to get married. And I said the same. I said, I'm ready to get married as well. Let's see how it goes. And we walked towards it. And we got married. Thank God, 10 years last week, right?
So I think there's still a risk to that as well.
There is risk.
There is
risk. But that risk, what I realized, wait, 1 second. What I realized is the same risk. If I date you for 5 years, it's the same risk if I date you for 5 months.
No, I made it with him. You also made a point before that you're tired. You've been there. You've done that. You've got the T-shirt. You're not interested anymore.
I didn't want to marry.
The point.
Them time I don't talk about marriage.
Exactly.
Yes, the time.
Now
I won't marry.
Now, no, hear me.
I was young, and I did what every man would do when they were young.
Get me.
Every lady would do when they were young.
To me, I don't know about her. I don't know about her.
I know they
dating is. When you guys talk about knowing what you want before going, you should already have the list and that and that. For me, dating is also a road to self-discovery.
Yeah, thank you.
Dating
is not a road to self-discovery.
Okay, this is what I've dated my baby daddy for time, and he told me the other day that after we broke up and he dated this girl for a year, it's not necessarily that what she's doing is bad or wrong, but he discovered that there are certain aspects of things that he has not come to realize that he doesn't like and he doesn't want in a woman. So he broke up with her. It's not that what she did was wrong. It's just because there are certain characteristics or personality about her or what she does that he doesn't like, and he has just discovered that. He's 33. Now, for me, multi-dating, I might not necessarily know that I hate tea. But once I start dating and you're doing and you're giving it to me, I don't like it. Most people like the whole romance stuff, being saying,
oh, listen. Those are our languages of love.
I hate it.
Why I hate it. No, you know.
No, because that's who she is.
Wait, let me ask you. Hold on. Why do you hate babe?
I hate it because upon dating and being called babe and all of that stuff, I've come to realize.
Okay, on dates.
I've come to realize that I don't want it. I'd rather you either say big head or something. For me, that's like you. I like the
that's
jokey.
Your turn-on.
Yeah. But then had I not dated or
nice
this person keeps telling me babe, love, showing me open doors. Like even though I dated this guy and he'll come and just give me money and be like, I'm a man, keep it. I don't want it.
And then where's the affection?
But for me, I don't like it. So I don't. That's not my language.
And now, for example, then you know your language.
I understand that. Okay,
that's his version.
I'm not saying that he's a bad person or whatever. Just him as a person, I've come to realize he's not a person I'm looking for. I dated.
So you did that all of them at the same time.
Yes.
All the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's important that now that I found it, I'm discovering that you know what, Marion, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. And then at the end of it all. If there's all of my qualities in one man, great. If there's not,
so there's a possibility.
That's what I'm saying. That's what all of you guys are saying the same thing as me.
No, I'm not saying the same thing. I'm not saying the same thing as you.
How long would you date a man for?
So I was behind the camera. I was just hearing this conversation that is just going on. So I need to put something straight. Multi-dating is so overwhelming, both for man or for the lady. Because as a matter of fact, I believe my own personal opinion is to become whoever you want to marry. You want to marry a king, why can't you become the queen? It is very easy to match a queen and a queen and the king together.
So I believe that multiple sampling or multiple dating has its advantages and disadvantages. So the priority here for us is to try and see where the strengths lie in that. And we have spoken about self-awareness. I'll give an example of myself in my previous marriage. My previous husband was saying, obviously he's previous now, sorry, but he was saying something that I realized in him and I also realized in me. So for example, the queen part, I love that. When you walk into a relationship and think that you are a queen, right? You will tell yourself you're a queen, but if that man doesn't tell you you're a queen, that man can actually bring that all the way down to zero. So that's one example I'll show you about multi-sampling is good because another person can tell you're a queen. That's the queen point dealt with. Now, let's talk about multi-sampling in the sense that when I got into a marriage, this was not multi-sampled. It was one relationship. And this person started to realize that he likes a wife that actually likes to do certain things. So basically his love language is acts of service. So he wants a woman that will cook, clean, iron. But he doesn't have emotional connections with this person. He doesn't have affection. He doesn't have words of affirmation. And I am the person that loves to be told, Lerato, you are the bomb. You're beautiful. I want you to be my cheerleader. How am I going to know this if I didn't realize that I was married to a person that was not those things? So multi-sampling might be ruled out because you guys think that, oh, then your energies. But if God was to bring the right person, I'm saying God because he's the superpower. If he was to bring the right person for you, that person will champion all those things, even if they're in small doses in some places. So for example, if a man was to cheer me on, but he wasn't super rich, I would know that, okay, I can go and he's cheering me on to go and look for the money that I'm saying I expected in that marriage in the first place. So that is me and multi-sampling and multi-dating. It's not all ruled out. It's not all, because in the world that we're in now and the ages that all of us in the room are, we're no longer virgins. We're no longer at that stage where we've not tested outside. We are no longer those people that have seen it all. We are all that have tried it, and we've seen that, okay, when I was 16, I wanted money. When I was 22, I wanted sex and the car. I wanted a man who was very good in bed and had a good car. Whether he had a good mindset, it didn't matter. And I've sampled that. I've seen it. Now I know. I don't want it anymore. How was I going to know if I didn't do it? And then suddenly I'm married by 22 and I'm sitting in a house and I'm seeing men with big cars and my husband is very humble and sitting there on the sofa, working very hard and bringing 5 pounds. So no, multi-sampling is very good for our own intellect, for our own self-observance, for our own self-awareness. And besides, it just helps you to grow as a person so that when you move from a relationship that wasn't good for you, you leave the baggage there and you carry yourself into a new relationship with a newfound love for yourself.
Why can't you become whoever you want to marry and try as much as possible? Because by the time you sample this one, you sample A, you sample B, you sample C, our brain records every transaction or every activity that is going on. You will get to a point in your life, and by the time you finally say, okay, this is the person I will finally marry. Years back, a lot of things will start playing back to you. For example, you love the particular person because he has money. What about if you now have the money? Will you be able to be in love with the person? You will lose interest in the person because the person only has money, doesn't have other emotions. Now, if you now become wherever you want to marry, it's very easy. It's very, very easy. If you are a queen, even if the person pretends to be a king and you are a queen, actually, every other person wants to marry you because you are a queen. It is very easy than pretend to be a queen. Because, you know, some people, for example, some people like to look rich, but they are not rich. Some people, why can't you become the rich person than becoming the want to be rich? Why can't you become the real queen rather than trying as much as possible to become just to understand this person?
I still stand by my point that multi-dating is necessary. Whatever they say, that's their business. And I feel like what you discover 20 years down the line is completely irrelevant from the purpose of multi-dating in the first place. If you remember what I said multi-dating is important to me for 3 reasons. 1, I have set a timeline. Between 18 and 22, I want to be at school. Between 20 and 25, I want to date and discover who my husband is so I can get married. So between that period, I'm going to multi-date many people to discover what I want, what I like, who I am, and see who best meets up my requirement. Because when you just leave school, bear in mind I'm still very young, when you leave school you have little or no experience. You're still even discovering who you are as a person. They've made different points, but they're like 40 now, to be honest, and they all have played around. And it's important to know that it's not only about the material things or the physical aspects you look at when multi-dating. You look at personalities. What ticks you off? What do you like? Different cultures bring different principles. Like in the UK, many people are very open to the idea of openness, entanglement, and things like that. Back at home, we're very traditional, one person. Or in Asia, it's normal to have multiple partners. So when you are in an environment that, for example, I'm in the UK now, I come from a different culture. I need to know what I'm okay with. I need to learn new things and be like, all right, this is what I'm cool with. So for me, multi-dating people within the time frame I've set for myself is important. Yes, if I had all the time in the world and I wanted to get married at the age of 40, yes, I can try the whole dating one person at a time. But I've said to myself that because of time constraint and the plan I've set for myself, I'm not going to waste my time on one person. I'm going to take the pull the pool together and discover what I like in multiple people. And the person that comes close in that pool, they might not even be anybody, but just for the fact that I've discovered certain things and I know what I want, I can use that now to be like, okay, whatever relationship I'm entering in next, this is my list. And it was only being able to help because I was able to multi-date. And I still say multi-dating is very important. And that also includes the sex part of it, because sex is also very important.
When you grow old, those things will not matter to you again. Those things will fade away. You will now faced with the reality of being in a relationship that is peaceful. You just want to be at peace. Some people feel that when they get married, they want to be happy. That's why when people marry, they say happy married life. Let me tell you something. Marriage can make you happy. No man can make you happy. No woman can make you happy. Rather, you have to be happy to have a happy married life. If two people are in relationship, they say happy married life. It takes two happy people to have a happy married life. Why can't you become that person rather than trying to sampling? So my point is, stop sampling. Just become whoever you want to marry.